Hello and welcome to another riveting lockdown edition of Trendz Travel, coming to you all the way from the very lonely and very empty Johannesburg Zoo Lake. Now, as you know, our president has announced an extension of the current lockdown, and we'd like you to see this as an opportunity to be a superhero. So why not don your capes, stay indoors, and stay safe to save thousands of lives. Now, from cleaner air to liberated wildlife the world over, the coronavirus lockdown in many parts of the world seems to be having a positive effect on the environment. As the modern world has come to a screeching halt, the natural world out there seems to be thriving in our absence.
Yep, it's definitely business not usual. The coronavirus pandemic affecting most parts of the world has changed life as we know it. So while we are cooped up in our homes during the national lockdown, Mother Nature is taking time to heal and reboot. Usually packed with tourists and beach lovers every year, the popular beaches in Colombia's Caribbean coast are now deserted. The coastlines are pristine, still and empty. You can spot marine life very easily. Last month, Colombia closed its borders and enforced a national lockdown. In Italy, the Venice Canal is now clear. You can actually see the bottom. Some people said they didn't even know there was fish there. The dolphins came out to play at the pots. Wild boars came out of the wild and into town. The goats were spotted roaming freely in the city of love with no one chasing them away. A very rare kind of a cat, a civet, was also seen crossing the streets in India. More wild pigs on the streets. In California, all you have to do is look outside your window and you could see a bear, a whole bear. Unfortunately for these monkeys, tourists have disappeared with the usual snacks, so they have to fend for themselves. A puma was spotted jumping up an 11-foot wall in the suburbs. Coming into Africa, the Vic Falls recorded their highest flow in 2 decades. But there was no one there to watch. Air pollution gone. Mother Earth is recharging and showing off in all its beauty. For the first time in 30 years, the Himalayas are visible in India. Traffic as we know it is no longer. Hopefully, when we go back to the streets, we will keep in mind to tread carefully on Mother Earth.
Usually for the purposes of travel, your air hostess will tell you to put your seats in the upright position prior to takeoff, but not here. Here we'd like you to recline your seat, put your feet up, sit back and relax as we take you from here to Langebaan in the West Coast. Known as the Jewel of the Coast, Langebaan is one of the oldest and most well-known towns along the Cape West Coast. Its main attraction is the Langebaan Lagoon, a purely saltwater lagoon. An ideal location for anyone who loves water sports, offering you the experience to explore the beautiful inlet on one of its many cruises or many water activities that take place on the beach or in the water. But just like some parts of the world, the lagoon is now on lockdown for humans. Nature, on the other hand, is loving the quiet emptiness, bouncing back as humans are forced to stay indoors due to the coronavirus pandemic. The Western Cape is no exception, as a huge number of birds flocked to Langebaan while locals stayed inside.
It's amazing how ever since this lockdown happened, the birds have been going crazy. We had the dolphins yesterday morning, or the day before, coming right past us here and playing like anything here in the cove.
While nature enjoys her world, we take you back down memory lane to a time when humans enjoyed the outdoors too. We start at obsession kiting, where we slip into something a little more suitable, albeit a bit uncomfortable, for the day's activity. Safety comes first. Sufficiently satisfied with my grasping of the instruction, we take the Hobie into the water, where I put into practice all that I have learnt. Guys, this is nerve-wracking. I'm gonna do this for you. After about an hour in the lagoon, it's time to bring the Hobie in. We then get ready for the next beachfront adventure. On this very quaint shoreline is an unassuming foodie hideaway, an open-air experience of down-to-earth seaside dining. This local restaurant has local people making local food exquisitely.
We have the different fireplaces. The one behind me we use for the potjies. The ones in the middle are for the grilling the fish and the mussels. And we have our bread ovens over there where we bake the bread. The menu is standard. We start with steamed mussels with onion and garlic. Then we have a grilled harder. We then have a fish curry and sometimes some bread with garlic in. The next course will be snoek and patats. Then we do a green bean beef stew, lionfish after that, and smoked angelfish, and we end the meal with half a crayfish. Very, very, very much a local West Coast seafood braai.
With unusual crockery and cutlery used, this is just a testament to the simplicity that surrounds you. The food, however, is anything but simplistic, as the flavors dance on your palate to the music of the guitar strumming local. The entire experience has a holistic, authentic Weskus feel, a true gem of Langebaan. Now we know the lockdown has got you feeling like you're serving a sentence for uncommitted crimes. But while you're at home, we'd like you to think about what you'd like to do once you get out. So why not let us know on Twitter or on Instagram. That's on Trendz on SABC using the hashtag SABC News.
Informal traders are the hardest hit by this lockdown.
How are we going to survive for this period of 21 days?
They live from hand to mouth.
My question is, how am I going to eat if I don't go out and collect card boxes for recycling?
All spaza shops should be opened, including informal food traders, but they must just get a permit from their councillor or from their municipality.
There was a sense of excitement hours after that announcement to say that at least they would now start supporting their families.
Scenes reminiscent of the 1976 uprisings in Soweto, trying to make a quick getaway at the sight of the police. But what began as funny scenes on the streets of the country's biggest township turned serious and deadly very quickly. Driver who tried to make a quick getaway has been cornered with the car chase over and the suspect in the back of the van. More arrests were made.
We are not going to allow people who are going to challenge the authority of the state at the expense of the lives of disciplined citizens of this country.
Traders without permits having their goods confiscated.
We're not stopping people from trading, but they must do it within the confines of the law. So the most important is to tell the nation that they should stay at home so that the curve can be flattened and then this COVID-19 situation can actually end.
Freedom is knowing your dreams are valid, no matter where you come from. Celebrate freedom this April with SABC.
You've whipped your coffee within an inch of its life, started and abandoned sourdough, danced like a TikTok teen, turned bananas into bread, and started drama with all your household objects. There's almost nothing left to do. Cue the pillowcase challenge. This mission, should you choose to accept it, means that you strap a pillowcase around your almost naked body and try to look as fashionable, as sassy and as sexy as possible.
All you need is just few of your best accessories together with a pillow or a cushion to achieve fashion looks that will break the internet. Fashionistas have taken to social media rocking their pillows with high fashion looks. Here is our fashion police hits and misses of this recent trend.
Hi, Trendz Travel. My name is Leroy Mark, and this is your quarantine edition of Fashion Police. And since we're in quarantine, we're coming to you live from my kitchen. Fashion is going through sort of an interesting time, right? Especially when it comes to the trends and the challenges that people are taking on in this time of quarantine. My favorite one has to be the pillow challenge. I think celebrities far and wide, that every man, that every woman, have really taken on this challenge so well by using pillows and bedroom wear as accessories, and the whole premise of this entire trend is that it has to be big and bold and also have lots and lots and lots of accessories, because you're wearing nothing else but pillows, so you have to sort of pump up the look very high. And people have been doing very, very well. I'm talking from men to women to even pets, believe it or not. The likes of Torega, who came in with big dark pillow and then accentuated it with lots and lots of leopard print. Celebrities like Linda Mtoba, for instance, who used 2 pillows, right, and use a designer belt to sort of hold everything together, and sort of continued the monochrome look with a monochrome pump and a cute bag, and big sunglasses. And again, accessories are king when it comes to this challenge. Also enjoyed how people have been a bit comedic about it, because there's the pillows challenge and there's the Msamo challenge, and as you can see, some Msamos should not be put up on the social streets because they should be very, 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 very far back in your closet. But also I loved how people have used things like sheets, for instance, to sort of drape over the pillows to add more dimension and more drama. I love how the men have come into it and made it sort of sports lux, right? So wearing trainers and the pillow and the belt to give it a more sort of masculine, more sporty feel. And I think that the fact that people are using the bedroom wear as a whole and not just pillows makes it even more exciting, because how much can you do with a pillow? So the trend is seeming to be sticking around for as long as people are in quarantine. But I have a challenge for you, Pulling. How well can you pull off the pillow challenge? Can you maybe don a pillow or two?
Today I collected my pair of my best pillows, accessories, shoes, shades, you name it. I'm about to trade in my PJs for something really, truly unexpected.
From one lockdown challenge to another, self-isolation seems to be bringing out the artsy side of people, as many in Russia are recreating famous art pieces.
An unexpected turn of events influenced the way this art lover created her masterpiece. Unhappy with the knitted slipper she made in self-isolation, Moscow resident Svetlana showed her creation to a friend who immediately recognized this as a proper bid for the Art Isolation Challenge, which started in Russian language segment of Facebook.
Я открыла шкаф и начала доставать оттуда вещи, которые подходят по цвету. К сожалению, я не засняла момент создания картины, потому что я не ожидала такого успеха. Но я могу вам показать, как я ее сейчас буду разбирать. Потому что сложила я ее буквально на постели, и хотелось бы сегодня на ней же и спать. Итак, показываю, из чего все это было собрано.
This particular artwork depicts Edward's Munch's scream. The image was made from different items of clothing from her closet, all creatively displayed and arranged. Munch's screams seems to be quite popular as Moscovit's Yulia, a painting enthusiast, swapped her brush and palette for whatever she could find in her pantry to create her own version, as well as depicting of Leonardo da Vinci Mona Lisa. She used lentils, buckwheat, beans, and other food items to produce different shades and used her windowsill as a canvas.
Попался на глаза этот проект мне в Фейсбуке. И, наверное, это было такое состояние, что заставило меня смеяться, радоваться. То есть это был такой очень довольно большой всплеск эмоций, который мы, скажем, не испытывали из-за того, что сейчас все страны в той или иной степени на карантине.
The Russian language Facebook group joined similar online initiatives, including Dutch Instagram account with over 1,500 followers that have encouraged people in quarantine to channel their artistic talent to recreate masterpieces. Art Isolation now has more than 300,000 members and a flurry of posts. In the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv, this masterpiece was recreated using sausages, red cabbage, and spinach leaves. The original artwork features 5 crimson nude dancers holding hands in a circle against a green landscape and a dark blue sky. Residents of Spain have also given in to this art craze, depicting Therapies by René Magritte.
Trendz Travel brings the world into your home and takes you out into the world. We'll be back with more of Trendz Travel after this very short break.
We have received information that these suspects were making fake permits.
It is not only for informal trading. It has permits for moving around, moving from province to province. So that defeats the whole regulations of the national lockdown.
I was arrested for 4 hours, but I proved myself that I did not issue any permit.
3 suspects arrested. One, the owner of the internet cafe that was selling fake permits.
Coronavirus spread internationally and has now hit the shores of South Africa. What are the chances that there will be massive spread here at home?
The probability that we will get some local transmission is likely very high.
And if that happens, will the country be ready for that?
In terms of laboratory testing preparedness, we are prepared.
But who's at risk of contracting this illness?
Anyone who's within a very close proximity, and it's generally recognized to be less than a meter, might inhale or breathe in those little droplets that are then expelled by the infected person.
The most important question is, how can we prevent spread of the virus?
Washing hands with soap and water is still the most effective. Hand sanitizers are an option when you can't wash your hands or your hands are not visibly dirty.
Freedom is knowing your dreams are valid, no matter where you come from. Celebrate freedom this April with SABC.
Artists the world over are not allowing the coronavirus pandemic to dampen their creativity. They are setting up their easels and using their tools as voices to inform and visually educate, to also raise awareness of those who are not lucky enough to lock down in safe spaces, and also to pay tribute to frontline workers. While millions across Chile are staying at home for the country's coronavirus lockdown, a lone homeless street artist has no choice but to keep his easel up. Humberto Vázquez braves the cold on the nearly empty streets of Valparaiso to try and make ends meet. Business is now tougher amid pandemic fears, and generous passers-by are fewer and far between. But despite this, Vázquez still continues to paint, adding color to the dreary and empty streets.
Compré un lápiz, un papel negro que a dibujar y conversé con un artista de Portal Álamo de la asociación y en buena gana, en buena onda llegó me enseñó a darle vida de la cara a los ojos, luz y sombra, y después me fui solo y no lo solté más. Trato, murales, caricaturistas, pinto en tela y óleo.
He uses chalk to create art on the city's pavement, hoping pedestrians will throw him some spare change as he adds different shades of hope with every piece of artwork. Meanwhile, in Switzerland, another form of street art is adorning Glad Town's walls. Graffiti artist David Perez, aka Sid, pays tribute to the everyday superheroes working on the front line.
Couleur un petit peu dans ce mur déjà tout gris, dans ce passage tout gris, qui est un passage entre deux écoles. Donc du coup, c'est beaucoup pour les enfants. Donc là, spécialement aujourd'hui, je vais rendre hommage aux caissières. Donc bon, c'est un peu elles qui sont en première ligne avec les infirmières, etc. Donc pour les travailleurs, les super-héros du quotidien, quoi.
His latest offering is a giant portrait representing a cashier. The cashier was modeled by one of Sid's friends, Manuela Peroni, who is not a supermarket employee, but wanted to do her bit in paying tribute to workers in contact with the public who risk possible contamination.
Alors ça m'a fait plaisir déjà de lui donner un coup de main. Maintenant, surtout quand la situation est difficile, et puis effectivement pour remercier tous ces gens-là qui bossent dans les hôpitaux et puis ailleurs aussi, c'est très important. Donc c'est un peu un hommage.
On the bottle of soap that the cashier is holding, Perez has left a note to all the silent cogs that work together to provide essential services. A simple thank you.
Et un grand merci à toutes ces caissières, qui travaillent malgré ce gros problème qu'il y a. Et justement, ce que je disais, c'est que j'aurais bien voulu faire ceci sans ces conditions-là. Donc c'est vrai que malheureusement, il y a ce virus et on pense peut-être des fois pas assez à ces gens en temps normal, alors que maintenant c'est vrai qu'ils sont en plein dans l'actualité. Et ça me semblait vraiment normal de leur rendre un hommage et de leur dire merci, quoi, tout simplement.
But what do the residents of the Swiss town of Gland think of this work?
Je trouve ça absolument fabuleux. Les couleurs, les jeux, les dessins sont absolument magnifiques. Et c'est vrai que la symbolique est très forte et c'est vraiment très beau.
Artistic homage also flows freely in Basra, Iraq.
احنا نشوف الأطباء شنو دورهم، نشوف البقية، يعني كل شخص إنه أخذ له دور بالمجتمع. إحنا كفنانين كان إنه دورنا نقدم نجسد هذا الوضع اللي إحنا بيه، ونفس الوقت نقدم موضوعات توعية للمجتمع.
28-year-old Dua Manshed is now devoting her time under lockdown to painting. Presenting a series of paintings that illustrate her vision of the spreading coronavirus, her works include paintings of medical workers to abstract representations of the virus attacking the human body. Manshed also uses real face masks as part of her artistic expression. She attaches these to her works, adding a 3D feel to it. Unable to organize an actual exhibition due to the restrictions imposed to curb the spread of the virus, Manshed is using social media to promote her works. And that's it from me and the rest of the Trendz Travel team. We look forward to taking you from your couch to the rest of the world. Next week, same time, same place. Join us again then.